Hey TechKnowStuds! One of the exercises that we did with IP version 4 was we figured out what the network range was for a specific network. That is, we were given what is the network range for the 1000th network, and we went through the process of actually figuring out what the network range was for that. Well, we want to do something similar with IP version 6. There is a couple less steps that we have to do with this, so it's actually going to be a little bit easier, but let's take a look at that process of what we would do to figure out and solve for what is the 1000th network. In this example, let's say that we were asked to solve for the 50th network. If we're trying to solve for the 50th network, well, first of all, what we have to do is subtract 1. And the reason why we have to subtract 1 is because the first network that we have is going to be all zeros. So we would see all zeros in here for that first network. And because of that, network 1 is 0, network 2 is 1, network 3 is 2. So we have to subtract 1 for this. So we're going to do subtract 1 and we end up with 49. The next thing that we need to do is convert that into a binary number. So let's convert 49 into a binary number. So let's take 49. Is there a 64 in there? No. Is there a 32? So let's start out as a 32. There is a 32 in there. So we're going to subtract 32. So 32, we're going to mark that as 1. I'm just going to make notes on the side here. Then we are left with 17 left. So 32, yeah, there we go. So next what we have is a 16. Do we have a 16 in there? And yes, we do have a 16 in there. So I'm going to subtract 16 and we end up with a 1 out of that. And so do we have an 8? No, we do not. Do we have a 4? No. Do we have a 2? No. Do we have a 1? Yes, we do. So we just subtract 1 and no, we don't have any remaining. So we now have this 49 into a binary number, which is our 50th network. And the answer to this is 110001. So next what we're going to do is let's put that into here. So we got 0011, 0001. Whatever we do, it needs to come up against this line right here. So we've got this plugged into our answer right there. Now I can break those down into the nibbles. So I'm just going to break it down into the nibbles here. It really already is, but we'll just do this. Okay, next what we need to do is figure out what is going to be the hexadecimal equivalent to this. So we take each of these numbers separately here. This 0011 is actually going to end up being a 3. And this 0001 is 31. And so now this is the answer right here of what our network address is going to be for our 50th network. Okay, here's time that you can practice this. What you can do is you can go and practice each one of these and figure out what the network address is going to be for each one of these. Figure out the first 4 hextets. We're just ignoring the host bits for now. So you're going to figure out what the 50th, well, we actually already did that, but the 100th, the 450th, the 2000th, and the 4500th. Now remember, subtract 1 from each one of these because we start at 0 from a binary perspective. So network number 1 starts with a 0. So subtract 1 from each one of those. Really, each one of these is going to, the first 3 hextet is already going to be set for you. So you don't really, you could just repeat all of these. That's not really going to change. It's just going to be this 4th hextet that's going to change. So subtract 1 from it. Convert it into a binary number and then figure out what the hexadecimal number is from that. All right, and here's the answers. So go ahead and pause the video and take a look at this and match it up to see if you did it right. Great, hopefully that went well and you were able to solve those. So that's how you solve for a specific network using IP version 6 addressing.